All right. Wanted to welcome you guys all to the call. And let's see, we have a 662 number. Who's that? Someone in Mississippi. Is that Sharon? They're not speaking. All right. And then we have Bert on here. How you doing, Bert? I'm trying to remember, Bert, you are with Rick and Penny, right?
Yes.
The cousin?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to add the reaction.
Well, we're glad to see that you're so we might have to share that with the rest of the group a little bit. Bert is the second person that Dr. Marvin has ever experienced out of how many people did he say? Over
He said like 18,500.
Yeah, over 18,500 people. He's the second person that he found that is actually allergic to propanum or ingredient in it. So it's actually it's worth listening a little bit to what Bert went through, because it was a learning experience for me. I assumed if someone is allergic to something, they're either allergic or they're not. You just take it and all of a sudden. But you guys understand anaphylactic shock. See, I used to be an EMT, so I know a little bit about that. But anaphylactic shock, the true signs of an allergy, and Bert can tell you what he experienced. What were those signs, Bert?
Well, I started taking it, and I took a half of pill for the first 2 weeks. Everything seemed to be going okay. I went through what I thought was the normal detox. Wasn't feeling that bad. My joint pain was a little less than it had been when I first started. And then it would have been a week ago, Wednesday, I took my first entire full pill. And in about an hour, I was in trouble. So chest tightened up, throat tightened up. Face around my mouth was breaking out, and I couldn't breathe, and I was actually coughing up liquid.
Oh my!
I had a bad day.
So those are not good signs, people.
No.
So if you ever get someone that starts experiencing those signs, tell them go to the doctor, grab your EpiPen, and. It just, Bert did not start out right away with these allergies. His developed from taking it, and he's had that problem. I think Bert shared that, it's easier for him to tell you what he's not allergic to,
Yeah.
to tell you all the things that he is allergic to. So it just, in his genetic makeup, and we're sorry about that. But what Bert is not, he understands, just because he can't necessarily share a positive product experience, he's still looking at building a business because he knows it's different than everyone else. I mean, we have elites in this company that have never really felt a difference, but they're elites in this because they share other people's experience. And if you do this right, if you're having third-party validation, you don't need to tell your story because someone else is going to share their story for you. So, and that's what I did in building a business. In fact, I wanted to share my story, but Rusty just kept telling his story, So I had to wait till he was done and do a follow-up call. Then I said, okay, now it's my turn. I can share what it's doing for me. Anyway, appreciate you guys all being on here. Let's see, we have a 517 on there. Is that you, Neil?
No, it's me.
Oh, that's Kim. Neil said, well, he had to go feed the chickens before he got on, so he might be. Neil's our Amish friend. And don't let me forget, we just found out Neil went Pro 3 at the end of last month.
Awesome, Neil.
Well, because he actually went Pro 3 on June 30th, So it was the last day of the month, and because he's Amish, he doesn't have computers. So, you know, we're all looking at our numbers, and Kaveri, he's like just going on with life, and he just got a Pro 3 pen in the mail. He goes, huh, you know, with a little plaque. He goes, they must be a Pro 3. Like, I didn't know that. So I called the company and confirmed it all. He just barely squeaked in. And that's the bad news, because we were hoping to bring him in Pro 3 during the incentive where he could have made an extra $150. So it's good news, you know. So, but we have incredible things, quite a few things to share with you guys. And Sarah, are you in a hurry, or are you? Can I go through some of the other announcements we got going on?
Go for it, Brian.
All right, we have the end of the month here, okay? And make sure all of you check your balances. Make sure you have at least 200 PV if you have enrolled a distributor, or if at least 100 PV, and you get the royalty bonuses, okay? So keep that in mind, but we all want to encourage everyone to do 200 PV every single month. Then you don't have to worry about it. Personal PV. Any questions on that? So you want to make sure, and if you have a team underneath you, you want to make sure that they know that also. So is that, I tried to find out, is that you, Sharon, on 662?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Sharon. I missed
Hey,
your,
how's it going?
good. I missed your voice. I haven't talked to you in a little while.
What's that? Oh, yes, it rained today, Brian. We had a rainy day, so we got to talk to you tonight. That's good.
All right. Well, glad to
Yeah, did they make 1,000 Pro 3s at the big Anaheim? Or so they didn't have to shave their heads bald?
Well, I don't remember seeing his head bald, so I'm not sure. Did he, Rusty? I don't know. I didn't even see Darren Jensen. You know, I guess he came out.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe that is true. Maybe he had to shave. I don't know. Okay. Want to get down to business because I got to get through some of these announcements. Okay, for Michiganders or around the United States, I encourage every one of you to find your closest premier school, or now they're calling it LifeVantage Academy, LV Academies or something like that. But you want to look those up and find those dates, okay, and get plugged in. Because if you want to be successful, and I choose to be successful, so I am doing what the elites and all that do in this company. And they say as leaders, we actually, what's the terminology I want? But we lead from event to event. We promote from event to event. That's the phrase I was after. Because those that go to the meetings and conventions, we have found, are those that are successful. So if you want to be successful, you need to get plugged in. But here in Michigan, we have one in Lansing, and it's on the 20th and the 21st of August here. So you can call your people, talk to your friends, but everyone needs to go to that. Everybody. Dave? Don? I don't know where. But the 21st is on a Sunday, and we have Dr. Now his name is going to be, it happens with names. The chiropractor.
John D. Nettles.
John D. Nettles.
Thank you. Don D. Nettles is going to be here in Lansing. I'm excited to meet this guy. He is such high energy. And they have a thing going on. If he doesn't get 50 people in Lansing, he has to wear a dress. And his wife, you know, the competition, she'll have to wear one of his suits if they don't get 50. So we'd like to keep them in his regular clothes. So we'd like to encourage everyone to come to that. And whether you have customers, get everyone to that meeting. It's going to be awesome. And then coming up in Orlando, okay? We're pushing hard now for Orlando, but August 7th, the tickets for that go up. I believe they go up to 119. Right now they're 89, okay? So get your tickets now and start booking, because the next one after Orlando is 6 months out. It'll be in Utah, and it'll be in April. So from October to April, I counted 6 months. If I did that right. But there was no other ones listed. So, and that's going to be a worldwide convention. So I'm telling you, get to Orlando, because I think what they're doing is spacing the conventions out a little bit further and getting everyone to like Vantage Academies throughout the United States. There's only like 12 of them right now. And so you need to find one that's close to you. You might have to go another state or away, but they're having them every month. And we need to support, again, ours coming up on Sunday, because they don't have us listed in September for having it on a Sunday. So we need everyone to support that. And if you don't have one near you, come and join us here in Michigan. We'd love to have you. Okay. I wanted to announce on our team, we had the very first person that qualified for the Cancun trip. And that's Dr. Bruce Hyde. So, in fact, he's almost got 6,000 in volume, so he's going to actually get money towards airfare. But I'm going to, man, I meant to look this up. Hey, Rusty, why don't you look up, because I wanted to share some people that are close to those points. And I know, Rick and Penny, I mean, right now they are our team leaders, top enrollers, on our team, and they are like halfway. So it started July 1st and goes until September 30th, and they're already half. They have more points than me. I got to get my butt moving because I want to go there. So it's all about enrolling people and helping people to rank advanced. Okay, I'm going through my notes here real quick. Okay, a couple things. I don't know how many of you checked your notes, but we now have a new holding tank feature. This is awesome. I've been wondering why in the world every time we want to move someone, we actually have to call the company and have them move. But now within 30 days, if you look where you enroll people, you log into your back office, and let me just show you. That'd be easier.
You want the points now, Brian?
Sure.
So Rick and Penny have 2370, so 2370.
Good job.
And Melody has 2080. Those are the highest. And then let's see who else. Kimberly Dow, 1700. Next one. And then let's see. Hi, Bruce is 4825. Chanel is 2400.
Awesome. So
So
guys,
quite a few going there.
what's that?
I think you have quite a few going quite well there.
Yes, I know. I'm excited about that. We won't talk about my numbers. I'm a little below there, but
Mine either.
we're working on it. I want to go on to Cancun. Okay, if you go under downline, you see on my screen, there's a new holding tank. Okay, so register new member. This is under downline, and you go to holding tank. Any people that you have enrolled personally, like I brought in a customer here, I can now myself change and move them within the first 30 days myself. So that is an awesome feature. Now, make sure you guys know you can only move them once. So before you just move someone, just give it a day. Think about it, mow it over, make sure you place them where you want them, because once you move them, it is very, very difficult to put them somewhere else. In fact, they don't even let you, if I remember right.
And feel free to ask some advice on that to people who've been around for a while, who've made some mistakes as far as placing people, and you can learn from our mistakes.
Yes, definitely.
Was your employee today? She talked about you really should have at least 5 rights in your first business center and then your second business center. She was saying, leaning towards more.
Okay, Aaron giving us some advice.
He was just saying to be sure and listen to the Aloha team call with Trish Albrecht, and talked about the concept of how many legs you should have and how to place people.
Okay.
It wasn't about placing. It was just
not about placing so much. It's just maximizing. He's on a different subject than we're on.
Okay.
Is that on Slack?
It's
I did.
yes. Aaron posted on Slack the recording numbers on there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Okay, there's also, I knew there was something else I was looking for. Rick and Penny actually ran into a few things. They enrolled a few customers, and actually, for some reason, the site, wasn't working right, and it just said they ran out of time, timed out. And the last 3 people they enrolled, and they shared another way of enrolling someone, and wanted to try and show you that. Should have stayed up with the screen share. I logged out. I'll pull that up. But it's another way of customers or distributors enrolling themselves. That I love the screen, and the company's constantly improving their software and updating their website. Whoops, I want to go into my website. This is my personal website that I give out to my customers. Everyone has one. You guys all know what yours is. If not, you need to go in there and look at it. But this is what I send it out, this link, to customers or distributors where they can enroll themselves. And again, after they enroll themselves, it now goes to a holding tank, and you can move them where you want them, for the placement. But on this, okay, it's a little tricky, but normally we go to join us. Don't go to join us. Tell them to go to my cart. Go directly to my cart and start shopping. I got to move this down. Go to start shopping, and then you start picking the products. Okay, what do you want? Let's take a Protanum, and then you go to quick shop. So if this is a customer and they just want to start taking product, so add it to your cart. And then you go up here, if that's all they want, whoops, you go to checkout. right on top. Okay, go to checkout. And now, you know, if they're a returning customer, they can log in here. Or if they're brand new, they go to create an account. So you click on create an account. And this is where everything now is in one page. This is what I loved when I saw this. You know, they pick retail or monthly. Okay, retail, they see right away it costs $50 for a bottle of Protandim, and monthly is $40. So, you know, let's save $10 on this order. You want to save $10? I mean, that's going to steer a lot of people to go to the monthly. And they create a password here. They fill in their information, you know, the date of when they want it to ship. You know, their shipping information is all right here, you know, before you hit continue and go to the credit card. So he said this site is working much better, and I have a feeling eventually this is how the whole site's going to look. But they still have the, you know, other buttons there, but things will probably be changing.
Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
click on the retail and show them what it looks like if they click retail
Oh,
instead of monthly. See, and then it pops up, save $10 now over by the Protandim.
over here where this.
Yes, that save $10 now popped up when you hit retail.
Okay. I don't see where it says that, but.
Right below the blue bottle, that little square, that gray square that says
Oh,
save
right
$10
here.
now.
Got
Yeah,
it.
that popped up. It says select monthly pricing, save $10 now.
Yeah, I do like that.
And then down underneath where they pick their date to ship it, they have to click that box to say that they agree to that time of month so that they're responsible. Wherever that, I think it's down further, or where did it go?
Well, because you
Yeah,
hit
put the
retail,
monthly.
it's a one time.
Yeah, put the monthly, yeah.
If you go monthly, then it's right here. And then you click that, you agree to the terms. Okay. Just a different way of doing it, but they're saying it works better. So if you're having problems with enrolling customers, there's some glitches in the other, go to this one. Okay. All right. Now, the other big thing is, okay, I've invited Sarah to educate us. We're always excited to have Sarah. Sarah, I mean, maybe not all of you know about Sarah. She is on our upline team. I call her, you know, the Mother Teresa of our upline. She's a sweetheart. She loves helping and taking care of us. And I don't know about you guys, I need more help than most people. So, and Sarah's always there to help and encourage and teach us new things. And she's going to talk about the new enrollment business hack, if I said that right. And there's a change now when you enroll distributors. This is a separate item now. So I'll let you explain that, Sarah.
Thank you, Brian. I do love you guys, and I love helping. And I love being on your Hollywood Squares. Can you see my whole face?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to share with you, if you haven't heard already, which if you are getting your LifeVantage emails, you have, and tuning in, but there is a start kit, which is a separate enrollment, is a separate part of the enrollment process. So what this basically is, it's $50, and the start kit is a requirement for anyone to receive commissions. And it's a requirement. It's what makes you a legitimate distributor. The start kit has always been available. But to those of us right here on this call, we purchased our start kit. It was actually included in our, they're calling them opportunity packs now. So whether you came in at the Freedom, the Vantage, or the Platinum pack, your start kit was included in that. You just may not have realized. Now, the company, you can see that they are really, really gearing up to be a billion-dollar company. We're braced for massive, explosive growth with the app, with everything that Brian just shared with you with the back office. It's amazing. And our CEO, Darren Jensen, was looking at what does the Direct Sales Association Code of Ethics say? Because we want to make sure we are doing everything to a T. And it actually says that to be completely ethical, your start kit needs to be separate from your enrollment pack or opportunity pack. So we went ahead and made that change. And they started with designing a beautiful enrollment pack. You've probably seen it. It's a box that Ryan Goodwin's thumbprint is all over his design with the way it looks. Somebody said like an Apple product. It's very sleek. It includes the blueprint, which has been updated. By the way, you can get a copy of this by ordering your start kit if you want to have one for yourself or to just hand to new distributors to get them started in their blueprinting process. You can also go to your back office library, in the library, and you can see US Blueprint. You can save it to your computer and you can print it out at no cost. So if you need it right now, you want to start looking over it. I haven't read it yet, but it's 42 pages and it looks beautiful. So it's already updated online. When you go to enroll somebody, you will see that you have to select a start kit and you have to select an opportunity pack. Would you like me to show that right now, Brian, or just keep talking?
No, go ahead and show it.
Okay. And I've had people ask me this recently. They didn't know, but on our website, you know, we're publicly traded. So you can see earnings claim statement, the comp plan form. You know, this form is right there for anybody to see. And the opportunity packs here, you can see the breakdown of what you get with each pack. And so because our enrollment packs are the same price that they always were, 3, 6, and 12, and the start kit is taken out and you have to pay for that separately, they have added a bunch of other incentives for us. More product, 2 free months of the LV Move app. The Platinum pack comes with 2 event tickets instead of 1. Everything else is pretty much the same. Let me go back here to show you what it looks like when you enroll someone.
So Sarah, does that mean that when we enroll someone with a Platinum, Advantage, or a Freedom Pack, they have to order that above that?
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
So instead of it being $1,200, it'll be $1,250 now.
Yes.
Okay.
So there should be a little blue button right here. Oh, I wonder if they're going to make you do it separately. See how there's a start kit here? $50, and it's no volume for that. We cannot legally get volume for that. I wonder if I selected that. I'm not seeing the blue button. Okay. I'm not sure why it's not there because we enrolled someone on Tuesday. As soon as this became available, we enrolled someone. We selected the start kit and her pack. So no idea. We will soon find out. But I wanted to share with you a couple other changes that you might not have been aware of. It used to be that if you came in at a a Freedom Pack, that you could upgrade to a Vantage Pack or to a Platinum Pack. That is no longer the case. Any upgrades now, no matter when you enrolled, you can only upgrade to a Platinum Pack. I helped Myrna enroll a neighbor down the street on Monday, and he insisted he really wanted to come in at the Freedom Pack. And at that point, we said you can upgrade as soon as, we'll help you upgrade when we start earning money. And now that's not the case. So he's going to have to enroll to upgrade to a Platinum Pack, but he will not have to get his start kit. So anybody you bring in that came in before when the start kits were included, they do not have to buy a start kit if they're just upgrading. Does that make sense?
I think so. Okay, do they have to pay the full price for the Platinum Pack?
No, they pay the difference, $900 or $600.
Okay, so they're still paying the difference.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I think that it's fantastic. Our company means business. If you're going to upgrade, get the Platinum Pack. That's the only option that's now available. I love that. What else did I want to say? Oh, so this launched, I believe it was Tuesday morning, and Brittany enrolled a new distributor. Yay, Brittany. And I came on the call because Brittany asked me to help explain to this woman who had just gotten her 600 together. We were going to explain that now it's actually going to be $50 more. And I just want to tell you that I explained that, our company is really a leader in the industry, and they know what they're doing. And I told her everything that the start kit includes, and I think she's really going to enjoy it because we're going to use it in her training. And she was like, oh, $50, that's it? Yeah, no problem. That sounds like a great deal. So we don't need to anticipate that people are going to be like, $50. It's still $50 extra for a multi-million-dollar business, going to be a billion-dollar company, and we're still on the ground floor. So I think that's really all I needed to say about it. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay, just to clarify.
Yes.
To be a Platinum, okay, you still just enroll as a Platinum Pack, and you're considered a Platinum in the business if you enroll that, right?
Only, you mean going forward?
Going forward, let's just say someone does not want to pay the $50. You're going to run into people. Okay, well, I don't need that. Just give me the Platinum Pack. There's still a Platinum, and they can build their whole business.
No. You have to buy the start kit, and I don't know why that button wasn't available.
Okay, so in order to do the business, we have to start telling them, it's $12.50. We have a Platinum Pack. It's $12.50. I'm just going to tell them it's $12.50 now, or $6.50, or $3.50. Okay. Because to do the business, you have to have it anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I asked a lot of questions, and I called customer service earlier today, and I wanted to make sure that it was important when we're talking about our compensation plan that someone couldn't now just buy a start kit and build a huge business. Or, I wanted to know for myself that this was an important piece. And so they broke down the compensation for me, and you guys know, like, numbers is not my strong suit. Here's what I recommend if you don't understand what I'm about to tell you, because it doesn't make sense. Call customer service and ask them the questions. Hear it from the horse's mouth. Or our website now, this is also a new feature. If you scroll to the very bottom of our website, in light gray, it says Contact Us, and you can select a live chat feature as long as the office is open. I tried it right before I got on to see, and it was closed. It just said I'm still waiting for a long time. But as long as the office is open, yeah, you can select the chat, and you can probably ask your compensation questions there. But you know, the start kit, it's just like a legal requirement that the way I look at it, and I don't know if this is completely correct, but the way I look at it is the start kit is what gives you rights to distribute. That's like the legal component of what we're doing here. Like, we have to have our start kit, and our company's start kit happens to have samples and a blueprint and all these marketing materials that we can use. If you only got the start kit for $50, like I was imagining, what if somebody said, could I do that? Well, you would only get the 30% commission on first-time orders. You would not qualify for any other residual or secondary commissions, never qualify for the pools or the matching bonuses, or so that's that. Now with the Freedom Pack, it's also 30%, but you qualify for secondary bonuses. And then the Vantage and the Platinum, it jumps up to 50%. So that's, you know, just a reminder of why we're going for the Vantage and especially the Platinum Pack for business builders.
Sarah, excuse
yes.
me, did they change any of the starter kit or just redesigned it?
Yes, they changed it. You can go on YouTube and select Life Vantage Corporation, and you can see Ryan Goodwin. He's gonna it's like a commercial for the start kit. It's like really beautiful, and there's some different materials in it. You can also, we've gotten several emails from the Life Vantage Corporation this week where there's links. For example, there's a link to the tutorial videos for the new app. There's a link for the new start kit video. I recommend whenever the company sends that stuff out to take a look and really spend some time reviewing those emails. And I'm saying that, I think I said it last time, because when I first started the business, I don't think I opened an email from the company for like a year. And now that I'm actively engaged, I'm like, give me more. I want to know everything about everything that's happening, so I'm fully prepared. So when Brittany says, so on Monday when I'm enrolling Ray, who came in at a Freedom Pack, and Tuesday morning, like 6 a.m. my time, we're enrolling Gloria, and now the comp plan has changed because of the start packs. I want to know what's going on when so really it helps to stay on top of things.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the enrollment pack, the business pack that we're calling it, has been changed. There's samples in it now. There's one of each of all the axials, which is cool. So you can sample them and see what you like. There's samples of, protanum in there. And the samples of the anti-aging cream also are in it. So that's cool. So, but someone, like she said, can enroll just with a business pack. That's always been available, even with the old business packs. I use them more as placeholders for like a family member. You just want to hold a place for them and maybe enroll people underneath them. So later on, if they want to update, then they can upgrade to a platinum pack, to actively build their business. But just one little correction, I believe, is with the placeholder business pack, you do get royalty commission, okay, with that. That's the residual incomes, but you don't get any of the other bonuses, okay, that go along with it. So if you want to know more, like I said, just go on and you can look at those. Any other questions?
So will this serve the same way as the placement pack as far as that starter kit, except for the bonuses are different? It just kind of holds somebody in place?
Okay, I'm trying to follow your question, I guess. Say it again.
Okay, you were just talking about the
yes.
placement.
The answer is yes.
If you had, okay, thank you.
Did you see the lips move on his picture?
I got a question for Sarah. They talked
Yeah.
about that think tank or that holding tank. How long can you put somebody in there for?
30 days. From the day you enroll them, you have 30 days to move them. If for some reason it's a few days, just 2 to 3 days after, if you talk to one of your Pro 5s and above, Pro 5s and my granddaughter is standing here talking to her phone. Can you please?
Get her on a starter pack.
She'll make a great network marketer someday. Now I lost what I was going to say. What was I just saying?
Hey, Brian, has she learned the word protandem yet?
I'm not sure, but she knows a lot of other words.
No, you was talking about if it was a couple days after the 30 days for the holding.
Right.
For the holding tank.
Pro 5s and above get your own account manager, okay? And they're able to do more than just anyone else in customer service. So you can't get a hold of myself or Rusty or Sarah, whatever. We could get a hold of our account managers and they can tweak things in a few days after. So I was able to do that with, for Rick and Penny with someone. They're like 3 or 4 days past the 30 and we were able to get them to move. Okay.
Okay, I have a question on somebody that's already a placement. If they're not doing anything right now, can they just stay just like they are? They don't have to do the starter kit until they're ready to start?
If they're already a placement with the old start pack, you're talking about the $50.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if they're already there, you don't have to do anything if they're not planning on building or anything. But you want to make sure after 6 months, and there's a fine line in there, after 6 months, they go into whatever, what do you want to call it, exception status. And if they give a little bit of a grace period, but if they go too far out, they actually lose their whole place. It might be there, but they can never reactivate them. But with our account managers, we've been able to finesse, on a few of those. So they need to at least place an order at least once every 6 months. And
Okay, so a person that is a placement does not ever have to buy the starter kit because they already got that as a placement packet, right?
Right. In order to have a placement, they had to do the start kit.
But within
Okay, all right.
do they have to place an order?
Yes, still every 6 months.
Or for them to check their counter and do it.
Okay, clear as mud.
You want to get it checked, you got to have 100 PV minimum every month.
Correct. Thank you. Yeah, minimum is 100 to get royalty bonuses. But to receive any kind of Smart Start bonuses, they have to have 200 PV. And 200 PV can be made up also from customer volume. Okay. So if you have a bunch of customers, the only thing you have to do is a $40 direct ship to yourself. But again, we want to be duplicatable, right? What would you rather have, a downline where everyone just does a $40 minimum, or a downline where everyone does a $200 auto ship? I mean, think about that. Okay, so if you're trying to just squeak by with just a $40 minimum, now I'm going to say there's some people financially, they're so strapped, they're trying to build this business. I love that feature, okay, for that. But for people actively wanting to build this business, you should be a product of the product. And I love all the products. I have the other problem. Everyone wants to take all the products and they want to take as much as they want. And I'm like, I already have like over a $500 auto ship. Slow down, people. Because I have a household of everyone wanting them. Everyone loves our products. Everyone's on our skin cream. Everyone wants to drink 2 to 3 Axials in a day. Sorry, that doesn't fly. So I have to budget my product. So I have the other problem. Any other questions on that? Okay, I knew this call was going to be a little bit longer, so I didn't have any real set agenda. But what I asked is if someone can share a testimonial. What has Protandim done for you? And I wouldn't mind hearing Rick's story. Oh, there he is. He disappeared for a second, tying his shoe. But Rick, I don't know how many of you have heard his story, but it is just incredible. Rick, do you mind sharing with us?
Sure. August of 2015, I was serving as a deputy sheriff here in Southwest Iowa. And I just stepped over from being a police officer for the city. And just felt the tug to maybe take a different direction in life. And I stepped aside from the law enforcement and went into what I consider to be full-time ministry. And so in August of 2015, everything was kind of going pretty good, other than the fact that I was trying to figure out how I was going to recoup $40,000 to $50,000 lost in income from law enforcement, but I was taking a step of faith. Well, it was also at that time in August of 2015 that I had a very debilitating stroke, and it turned my life upside down to the point where the medications that they put me on almost killed me. And so flash forward to January of this year, had 2 partial seizures related to the stroke. And again, visiting with the doctor, they wanted to put me on some other medications, and had this light moment with the doctor at one time. He said, we're going to work with this other med that doesn't work for you, but you're going to have to be on a seizure medication probably for the rest of your life. And I was struggling with that. And so they put me on this other med and said, we're going to start at a low dose and work our way up. And he kind of said, have you ever had any kidney issues or kidney stones or problems in that area? I said, probably not until you put me on this medication. And he laughed, I laughed. We had a kind of a light moment, but it was at that point where it was just, it got crazy. And it was also at that point where Penny got called from a friend who Kim is on the call tonight, and they hadn't touched base in years. And so it was kind of like, for us, it was kind of like a divine intervention at that point, because she says, you got to check this out. You got to see this. And she had no idea what was going on with me. And so I was not privy to that call. I came in the next day when my wife told me, hey, you're getting on this Protandim, and you're not only getting on this Protandim, but we're going into business. And that blew me away, because I had drugged this woman through the network marketing trenches before. I drug her through Amways, the Advocares, the Herbalifes, and she wanted nothing to do with it. And here I have a wife, a nurse, an RN telling me, we're doing this. And then I thought, wow. And I look back at my law enforcement times, and here's what I didn't like about my law enforcement career. In the short 5 years that I was in, I experienced a lot of just hard times, personal times. 2 suicides. One of those was the suicide of my daughter in our own home with my service weapon. And so that left a very bad, it was just hard time for me. And so flash forward to this opportunity called Life Vantage that we all have in front of us. It has also turned my life around. Just yesterday, after a couple of months of being on Protandem. I took a 10-mile bike ride. I hadn't taken a ride on a bike since I had the stroke. And I'm off my seizure meds. I'm off my cholesterol meds. And LifeVantage has turned my life around. So I thank God for my wife who said we're going to do this business. And we're not looking back. We're looking forward. And so I appreciate taking the time, Brian, and letting me share my story, because it's a story that Penny and I are going to share, and everybody needs to share. And if you're not sharing it, please share it, because I want to hear your story, and I love all of you. So go pro.
Woo! That was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, they have such an amazing story, and Rick and Penny have been an inspiration to me, and I'm telling you about this business is the friendships we build. My wife and Penny hit it off in Anaheim. They are so much alike. Rick and I had a great time, and as couples, we went to the beach, spent some time together, and in Orlando, we had the same thing. I'm working on, we have 2 condos. I've got one that's pretty much full, and we have another condo. Now, I don't officially have it yet. I'm working on a 3-bedroom condo, so if others want, to come and stay in there, we will sandwich them in, because we're all on a budget. And with this, $100 a person for a whole week. So that's pretty cheap. Unless we only get a few people, I might have to charge $150. Him, I'm going to charge double. He takes up a lot of room because of grandpa abuse. But anyway, who else would like to share? Who else would like to share a testimonial? We love the business, but, the testimonials is what really drives me, just like what Rick was saying. This is something I have to tell my friends. I have to tell people about it.
I'll have to tell you something.
Sure.
This is just crazy. I'm not really liking. I'm not really like a salesperson or like sales. Okay, so this is crazy that I'm doing this. But we went up to look at a car because Rick's going to be traveling quite a bit. And we went to the car lot, and I told Rick, I said, do not talk to the salespeople. They're not your friends. Please don't be talking to them. It takes up a lot of time, and you're not going to see them again anyway. That's how much I don't like salespeople, okay? So he says, okay, fine. You go ahead and talk to the salespeople so that you can decide what goes on. So anyway, we went in there, and we went to CarMax, so we were looking at all the cars, nobody bothering us, So then this guy comes out, and he says, are you looking at a car? And we said yes. So we went in and sat down, and we got to talking. Well, pretty soon we're in the car, and we're going to try it out, So we go out the gate, and the guy goes to Rick and says, well, what do you do for a living?
Open door.
So he said, I had a miracle happen with my life. And so he kind of said that he had a product that he was using. Well, then the guy goes, well, I had a miracle happen in my life too, and it changed my health. And I thought, let me see, what could that be? I don't know of anything. Well, the guy talked about he went totally raw vegan, and how he dropped his blood pressure and dropped his weight, and he wasn't diabetic anymore. I thought, okay, yeah, I know Rusty does that, and that that is totally what works. So I thought, of all the crazy things. So then he got to talking to us, found out about Protandem, and he is so excited because he wants to trade all of his pile of supplements in the morning for one. So we went back in. I said to him, I told my husband not to be friends here. By the time we left, we were friends, and he's going to get a hold of Rick, and we're so excited. We're going to get some vegan stuff. He makes some kind of Thai stir fry, and So, oh my goodness, everywhere we go, we've been making friends because somebody will bring up autism or somebody brings up that their shoulder has got arthritis. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I keep trying not to talk to people, but this is just so funny because, oh my goodness.
It's an amazing thing. I gave him a packet of Axio and said, we'll buy the car next week.
And that's because we're in LifeVantage. That's going to come out of our money from LifeVantage. We can afford it now. So that's crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, thank you.
Oh, thank you. And, for the record, I want to thank every one of you, because if it wasn't for you guys, my wife and I would not be going to the Pro 5 Summit this week. So we're leaving next Thursday. I say this week. Next week, Thursday, we're flying out to Utah, and they have incredible. I got the schedule for this. They're going to give us a dinner, and then we're all going to go to putt-putt golf, okay? And then, Friday, we have meetings till like about 3 or so, and then we go out to eat, and then they have some other activity. And then, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. I was worried, well, what are we going to do for Sabbath and all that? Well, for Saturday, they had a choice of different activities. One of them is whitewater rafting. So we're going to do a whitewater rafting on Sabbath and enjoy nature and be out there and maybe get wet. Who knows? So I just thought that was just incredible. And, after that activity, they're all going to go to Renault, game. But my wife and I are going to enjoy some relaxed activities and a little bit of sightseeing around there. So I'm real excited about that. And I want to thank every one of you for helping us to be able to accomplish that. And I can't wait to help you guys be able to experience the same thing. So it's GoPro. Hey, we can all do it. And it's all a team effort. So, I'm going to keep this a little bit shorter unless someone else has, something they'd like to share. Oh, Rusty's pointing the finger.
I told him, I said, it's okay.
See, she said it's okay.
He wanted me to share about my experience with NRF1. So as most of you know, for 2 years, I took half a tablet of NRF2. It would kick me into too high of a detox if I took any more than that. Right at about 2 years, that was actually a couple weeks before the NRF1 came out. I thought, I'm going to try it again. Every once in a while, I tried taking a full tablet, and I tried taking a full tablet, and I actually was doing good with it. And I thought, okay, maybe I'm done with my detox, and I can take a full tablet. And then the NRF1 came out, and I thought, I'm going to try the NRF1. And within a couple of weeks, I noticed in our swim, I was doing the sprints with Rusty, and because of my lung issues, I would always feel like, the bellows had stiffened up, the leather had stiffened up, and you couldn't get a full pump of air there. So I was always feeling like I was only breathing just so deep. And on this one particular swim, when I was doing the sprints, I was feeling like my lungs were bottomless. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever experienced. I was feeling like I could just take a full breath of air and could have taken more. And then it was about a week or so after that, I was walking Kiki up the hill, and it's about 700-foot climb. It's 1,000 feet to the top, and we're at about 300, right? Something like that.
No, we're not that high.
We're not that high. Okay. No. Anyway, somewhere around 700-800 feet. But I wasn't going to the top. I'd only go up about a quarter of the way most of the time and be breathing heavy. Then, I'd turn around and go back down. But I got to my usual spot, and it was a foggy day. So it was like Southern California, but it was fog from the volcano. We get a south wind, and it kicks in the fog. So that always throws me. My lungs are always worse then. So it was a foggy day. I got to my usual spot, and I went, I feel great. I was not having any trouble breathing. I doubled my distance. It felt like I could have gone all the way to the top, but I ran out of time because it was going to get dark. So I turned around and headed down the hill, and I felt like I could turn around and go back again. So it's definitely turned around my breathing and, my ability to exercise and have better health. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm still on a whole tablet of Protandim. So that's really good for me.
Well, it's nice to hear you're finally showing up rusty there a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
I know Rusty, he doesn't have a competitive nature or anything, does he, Debbie?
A little bit.
Well, I miss climbing Sleeping Giant because, when I had my business, we used to go to Kauai just about every year. So part of my my dream board is to get back there and show Rusty up, right? And climb Sleeping Giant. I miss that. Get all the way up to his nose, and chin. In fact, we were there when the tsunami hit. Remember that tsunami? Okay. It was so huge. It was like a little 1 foot ripple that came and hit Kauai. But they had a tsunami warning just in case. So where else can you go? But we climbed up Sleeping Giant, so we knew we were safe up there. Everyone, like half the town was all up on Sleeping Giant waiting for this huge wave to hit. A little 1 foot wave. We were a little disappointed, but it was neat being in a tsunami warning. Woke up early in the morning with alarms going on. We're like, what is this? So that was a more memorable experience out there. So anybody else? Don't want to leave anyone out.
Can I ask Rick a question?
Sure.
Rick, how long was you on the products before you got relief for your seizures and that?
I'm going to let my RN wife talk to you about that. She has a good experience about that.
Okay, he's a pretty rough patient. He was on seizure meds from January until I think it was the end of May, but he tapered down so that he had tapered down, over time because you can't go right off of them. He was on Protandim 1 month, and I couldn't make him wait longer. He just finished and quit. And I was like, oh my goodness, I wanted you to wait 90 days. So about the first week after he went off, he went to church, and he started having tingling in his arm. He started having problems. And I had gone over to work, and I said, call me if you have any problems. And so his arm started tingling. It started clenching up like it can, like when he had a stroke or he had seizures. And everything started coming in. He started getting blind spots in his eyes. And so he took Ativan, which is what they gave him, supposedly it's supposed to help, did nothing. And so I came and picked him up real quick, and I said, did you take your Axio? No, I forgot my bottle. I said, what are you talking about? So we went right across the road to Casey's, got a bottle of water, dumped in an Axio, shook it up. He took it within 5 minutes. I mean, before his hands were shaking and everything, in 5 minutes, he was fine. Everything was gone. So then he's taken Axio every day since. I make sure, but he actually got up and was a visitor preacher at a church this last week. That made me super nervous because after the stroke, a lot of stimulation with big crowds and stuff could be really hard on him. He did fine, didn't have a problem. He went and rode the bike 10 miles. So, see, that would be June 1. When he went out to Anaheim, that was kind of scary because he had only been a month off of his seizure med, and I wasn't sure how being in the big city would work. But he's been perfectly fine. So I hope that answers that. See, we're at July, about the middle of July, so he's been about a month and a half. And he's going to be fine. I mean, between the Axio and the Protandim, it really just takes care of everything. And I think he's going to heal to the point where if he had to go off of it, I think in a year or two, he might be able to be off it a couple days and he could still be fine. Cause I think it's going to heal him, you know, cause the scar tissue and all that stuff. So anyway, long story for short answer or whatever.
No, we love it. We love hearing it. You know, we just praise God because, you know, I got to know you guys a little bit and just incredible people. We'll have to have Rick, you come out here to Hastings and have you preach at our church sometime.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Love to have you.
Rick, are you on the Nerf 1 right now?
I am. I've been on the Nerf 1 for, I think it's going on 60 days now. And I tell you what, I'm kind of like Debbie. It's what is happening, I think, and what is happening with the restoration of my body is, again, it's a godsend. And it's kind of like the gospel for me. I've got no choice but not to preach this. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And so helped a guy today with that had just had 2 hip surgeries and has a bad case of arthritis. And he's a good friend, good church friend. And he took a look at me. He says, man, he says, to see you and where you're at in a little over a year is just nothing short of a blessing. He said, so if this works for you, I've got to listen. I've got to listen. And so he come on board as a preferred customer, but he says, I also got a dog that's 16 years old and not moving, not crawling. And he says, I'm going to put the dog on this. And he said, so anyway, it's Brian, I wanted to say, give kudos to you and the fact that the leadership that we have with you and Rusty and Debbie and the Cottrells, and I tell you what, it is a blessing. And I thank Kim for taking that step of faith and calling my wife just out of the blue. And so when people think they're praying for something, this is it. Penny prayed for this for a long time, and I truly believe that to be true. So everybody that's on the call, if you're looking for something to change your life, I would say you've got it right in the palm of your hands. And you've got the help, you've got the leadership, you've got the blueprint for success. Just do it. Just do it. So appreciate it, Brian, and everything you're doing and our upline's doing for us, because at some point I'm going to have Southwest Iowa is going to have probably a Life Vantage Academy, and we're going to be leading it. So that's what's happening in our neck of the woods.
And I believe you. You're already leading it. Making it happen. So no, we appreciate you guys. So next week.
Can I ask another question?
What's that, Dave?
Can I ask another question? Has anybody had a positive? We know somebody's bipolar. Has anybody had any good results with anybody with bipolar with the products?
The window down in the middle right corner are shaking their heads.
Is that us?
Well, my wife used to say I was crazy. She doesn't tell me I'm crazy anymore, so does that count?
I know she's shaking her head no. I don't know what that means. She doesn't believe you.
One of my patients was arthritic, asthmatic, was bipolar, and she wouldn't mind us telling who.
Oh no, she
Yeah, Julie Mai's mother.
Mm-hmm.
And on pretend, she got rid of her arthritic medications, her bipolar medications, her asthmatic inhalers and medications. So quite incredible. We had another young man that we found out was bipolar, and he had pretty incredible results within just a week's.
Oh, overnight.
I mean, there was changes overnight, but I mean, as far as, the changes kept going.
Oh yeah, kept improving, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Was that with the Axio and the Protanum, or?
That was just the Protanum. We didn't have the Axio at that point.
Yeah, at that point, just that.
Yeah. So it was pretty exciting. He was what, 18, 19 years old, and after about 3 months, his mom said that it was like it started when he was about 12. She said it was like having her 12-year-old back again. Not that he was acting like a little kid, but that he was back to his normal self. But aware of the fact that he, when things were changing, and I think that the Axio would really make a difference for him because he was alert to what was happening in his brain to the point where he could make conscious decisions and not be affected, just by what was happening. So
one of the interesting things about Nerf 1 in the mitochondria, if you look at the science from the United Mitochondrial Dysfunctional Society, whatever the name of that is, bipolar is on that list. Seizures is on that list. Think about the brain and mitochondria. Think about all the different things. So,
I have a story for. I don't know if Janet's on the line or not. Janet, are you on? I can't see who's on and who's not. Is she on?
No.
Okay, I know that when Janet came from Ecuador to come to our house in October, she had just started on the Protandim, and she struggled with depression, and she had mild bipolar. And when she first got on the Protandim, she really struggled because any time before that she ever tried to get on any kind of medication, her depression and everything got worse. And when she first got on the Protandim, she experienced the same thing. And she told me, she says, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take this. And I said, Janet, just hang on. You can do it. Just work through it. That's a detox. And once you get past that, you're going to be fine. And that's what she did. And she was on it from October to March, maybe. And she's like a new person now. I mean, she doesn't get depressed, and she doesn't feel like she has the bipolar. And she also had thyroid issues, and she just recently went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you have no thyroid issues at all anymore. So it's been amazing for her.
Kim, she had low thyroid, right?
I think so, yeah.
Hypothyroid. Okay, that's what I thought.
But you posted that on Slack, right? The thing that we found on the Hashimoto's and the Graves' disease, the low and the high thyroid.
I'm not sure if I posted that or not.
Okay, well, we need to do that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys all being on. Next Thursday, I'm going to be with my wife, okay, and we will be in Utah. So I will not probably be on this. If nothing's going on, I'll try and join it. So what I was wondering is who would like to lead out? I'm sure Rusty will be there to help, but now and then Rusty has to take off to do a quick phone call or something. So who would like to lead out, on this Zoom and head it up for me?
I volunteer Rick and Penny.
Okay. And Rusty has my information on this. And by the way, I have the Zoom, and during the day, I'm usually working. So if there's anyone that wants to borrow my Zoom account to do, a Zoom meeting or something, just let me know. And just send me a text or something. Hey, I'd like to use your Zoom at whatever time, just in case someone else is wanting to use it, or I'll be on it. Just let me know ahead of time, and you're welcome to use it. But write this down. It's LifeVantage@Zoom is the password. So capital L, then LifeVantage @Zoom. And then, my email is brylm81, okay, at gmail.com. Just make sure you log back out or else I can't get back in. So, but you guys are welcome to use it. So write that down, because knowing me, I might get busy and forget for next week. So, as far as a topic, I'll let you guys come up with that. What you want to cover as a topic. Maybe Rusty and his rusty hair, whatever you want to talk about. We're good. All right.
What do you think, Rick? Would be a good topic.
Momentum. How to do that? Momentum.
How to start and keep momentum. That's good. I like that.
Mhm.
Very good.
And maybe share some of your secrets to success. I mean, that couple right there in the middle square, they are the top enrollers and the mover and shakers this month on our team. Last month, it was a little bit. It's like a racehorse. I've got Melody running with Dr. Hyde, on one leg, and Kim and her team with, Rick and Penny on this other team. It's like two racehorses. I never knew who's going to take off. I just want them both to just take off and go pro there. And they're doing really well. So their goal, you're only 2,500 short of Pro 4.
I know.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw it.
Again, last month, you guys are just right there, and now this month too. So it's going to happen. You have 24 hours yet, right? No, we have 31 days this month. So
We're going to make some calls after this call. So.
all right, we don't want to keep you too long.
I had one question when it's done about autism.
Or you can ask it now. I'm here.
Okay.
If people want to get off, you're welcome to get off. But I'm still recording it because I got kind of chewed out. You stopped it when people were still talking.
Okay.
Sorry.
I have two people I'm going to end up working with. One lady, she's got 3 grandkids with autism, and I got a friend around the corner that's got looks like maybe a 4 or 5-year-old with autism. From my understanding, I saw in Louisville is a while back that they had some big research project that they were going to start where they were given glutathione IV, and it was supposed to be, they weren't going to let anybody use it, but it really helped a couple kids hugely. But they had to do the research project first. Well, I'm guessing that's going to be really expensive. And how do you keep going in for glutathione in infusions? So I'm thinking our product is huge. But if you have children, now I'm pretty correct. I think I'm correct on that. So, but with children, is there any, do you tell them to take a half a tablet? Do they need to take the Axio 2?
That's a good question. Dr. Mata was telling me about Dr. Cottrell, she calls herself, in Southern California. And she's a neuropsychiatrist. And she sees patients right before shock therapy. They'll be actually actively suicidal when she sees them.
Uh-huh.
And she puts them on Protandim and Axio. But here's her comment as far as autism, ADHD, ADD. She said it's 100% effective as far as helpful. Axio and Protandim. Now, as far as the dosage, we didn't talk about that. But everyone that I've ever worked with, we sized the tablet based on the size of the child.
Yeah, I know there's no recommendations because they haven't done any research on children. I just wondered from experience, kind of, and I know it's not to treat autism too, but, just to help with that. If that glutathione makes such a big difference, this just would seem to be really helpful.
Well, here's the thing with glutathione, and you probably know this as well, Penny, is that when you inject glutathione into the bloodstream, obviously that's better than taking it by mouth because the stomach will break it down. But still, glutathione isn't being produced in the cells where it's needed, and your body doesn't need glutathione in every cell at every time. And so with interactivation, activation, your cells that need the glutathione are making it. That's the cool part. It's like turning on the system that God made versus just throwing a bunch of glutathione at the body and expect it to land somewhere where it's supposed to. It is helpful, but not as helpful as Protandim. And then the thing with injections of IV glutathione is that you keep going back because they only last for so many weeks, right? So you go back and get another shot again. So this is something that's just gets the body rolling again, starts making its own glutathione. 5 of those survival genes, the 500 survival genes, are coded for making glutathione. And so when you take Protandim, you're activating those 5 genes that start the ball rolling as far as making glutathione from the genetic side. Because making glutathione is like a revolving door at a big hotel. And in this one, there's no motor. You have to push it. Now, you can't push it from the inside. You can't push it from the outside. It has to be two things, one on the inside, one on the outside, opening that door at the same. Once that starts going, your body starts making glutathione. The genes part in that is the most important part because usually there's stuff outside the cell that's there, but not enough genetic action on the inside to make that begin to go. And so protandim is a huge asset to any of those, glutathione production type disease. And you've probably seen this on Slack, but I mean, glutathione deficiency is on that same list as the disease list for oxidative stress.
Right.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Never heard of glutathione until 6 months ago, but then a lot of these functional medicine doctors, I noticed everybody around's talking about they're giving their kids glutathione. If they take that by mouth, are they getting much of any of it?
It's basically just giving their body the ingredients because your body breaks it back down again. That's just going to make it again. So obviously it'd be better for them if they knew about protandim, obviously.
That's what I was thinking.
Now, those functional medicine doctors and life extension doctors all have heard of NRF2 if they've heard Dr. Perlmutter lecture at those conventions, because I had a physician friend of mine who's into anti-aging, and he said that they had a lecture on NRF2.
Well, I saw where Parkinson's, they were actually doing these IV glutathione too.
Same thing.
Totally, but that's not an easy process. That's a hugely expensive because they have to be hospitalized for every one of those and hooked up to an IV and it run in. So I would guess it's probably about $10,000 a shot. I mean, not a shot, but an IV thing. So.
And that's why the Biochemical Society that met in January of last year on NRF2 activation, we're talking about treating Parkinson's and ALS with NRF2 activation.
Absolutely.
It's the next wave. It just hasn't hit yet, but it's going to. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but on, I think it was the webinar the other day, they mentioned a movie that actually I guess the child had, or not, I guess a young man had muscular dystrophy. And in the movie, they're saying it on the webinar that protandim was one of the things he was taking. Interesting. That it's already entering into just the movie industry.
Yeah. Cassie's out in Colorado, and she watched the movie. I don't know if it's the same movie you're talking about, but she was watching one on some symptoms or something was going on with an individual, and protandim was mentioned.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Just a matter of time before we hit critical mass.
Well, I was really excited today when you told me when they go to the main website that they can't just go order, because I went in there and I just clicked. I thought, what? Anybody can come here and order. But then not until I talked to you did I realize when you go to the next page, you have to have a distributor ID to get in there. Because I was just like, all they got to do is put this on the news once and it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's good.
We got to get the word out. I mean, our friends are going to hear about it. People we know, do we want to be in on that, or do we want someone else to take it from us? So, the fortune is in the follow-up. I'm telling you guys, follow-up, and I talk and I preach it, but I'm, myself, I have to kick myself in the butt because I've been off the last 2 days. And I'm like, man, I've got to get a couple platinum packs to help make up for not working. So I made a few phone calls, and I called the guy. I called him a year ago, and he just initially, I had Rusty on the phone with him. We did some talking, but I hadn't talked to him in a while. And I tried connecting with him a few times. He never answered my calls. So, just praying. It's like, Lord, please, I need to connect with more people. And called him, no answer again. It's like, oh, whatever, and went on. He called me back like an hour later. I'm like, oh, really? And his life had changed. We talk about how people's situations change. He used to be at Oakwood College, and their one of the athletic directors there teaching tennis, and now he moved to New Jersey, and So now he has a little more time, and now he's open. And we have a meeting tomorrow, with them. So guys, again, it's easy mentally to think, oh, they're not interested. We want to think negativity and, oh, they'll probably just go to Amazon and buy it, or something like that. But we, guys, think positive. What we have, it's just a matter of getting it out there. Keep connecting with people. We're not bugging people. We're just looking for the right time. So I want to encourage you guys with that. And who knows, I'm hoping to have possibly a distributor here. Thank you all, and thank you, Rick and Penny, for leading this up next week. If you have any questions, you can try and call me. I don't know if I'll answer, but we'll try.
We'll just make it so everybody says, "Oh, we can do it too."
But my challenge for you, Brian, you've got to shoot under par on the putt-putt course.
We'll try. I don't know what it is. Ever since my LASIK surgery that I had years ago, I can no longer line up that. I could think I'm shooting straight, and it's always going at a different angle. So I don't know what happened.
Aim that different angle. Yeah, just recover from that. Yeah. Hey, I shared this with Ron and you, Brian, but I didn't share with anybody else. But there was a call, Dr. Marvin's call. Anyone hear it yesterday or Tuesday? Okay, so he went over. They had Eric Merchant, who's the compliance attorney for our company, and they noticed that when they shut down the eBay and Amazon deal, that they're up the next day. And so they have acquired a company who's a watchdog, not just in our country, but around the world, that can stop them from even coming back on again to Amazon and eBay. So that'll be rolling out. What, Ron, do you remember when that was the time frame for that rollout?
I don't remember the exact time. I think it's going to be 4 weeks, they said.
Yeah. They couldn't say who the company was, but they have hired a company that's going to actually police that for them and get them off and keep them off. So that's really good news for some of you. So
a lot of us, and then hopefully a lot of these people that were customers that tried to order it on, they might say, "Hey, I can't get it on Amazon anymore." I mean, Ron, you're going to have hundreds of people calling you.
Yeah, a whole city.
Well, they mentioned on Eric mentioned that we don't think we're not being copied. Don't ever think we're not being copied by China or somewhere in Asia where they're making. I mean, they sent a bottle to corporate. It was white pills. White, guys. You know that turmeric is not white, don't you?
Well, something I would think, when people ask me that question, that is so ridiculous. I mean, would you buy your high blood pressure medicine off of eBay? I mean, if you had a disgruntled person that had been in LifeVantage, they could have put it in their hot trunk for a month, or they could have injected water in. I mean, why would you ever buy your medication off of Amazon or eBay?
Something you would ingest. I have no idea.
I mean, that would be, and when I tell people that, I'm like, would you buy your medication that you take from Amazon? Well, no. Well, that's how ridiculous that is. You have no idea what the person's done. They may have had it for a year. I mean, underneath the sink or something. I mean, it's like, that's not a good choice.
One other thing, don't want to wait till next week for this, but when you're doing your presentations or you're doing your one-on-ones with people, and you kind of want to give the concept of preserving something. I got this from watching Brandon Cunningham. I don't know if you guys saw his presentation on Periscope the other day, but he shared the concept of asking people, like, do you refrigerate milk? You go to the store, you buy the milk, do you refrigerate it? Why do you refrigerate it? Answer me. Why do you
Shelf life.
You refrigerate so it doesn't. Exactly, shelf life. And so your body's the same. So how much do you spend in your refrigerator a month? 25, 30 bucks a month? Even more in Hawaii, you know? But basically, you're preserving your food, but you won't spend 40 bucks to preserve your body. Anyway, I love that illustration. It really made sense to me, and I think that I'm going to use that from now on. The other thing is on Slack, if you notice that Aaron posted it, or did I post it, about that close that the guy did. I think that was his comments about that posture he had. I think if we emulate that, I think we'll do very, very well. So check that out too. It's on Slack in the general feed.
Rusty, getting back to your refrigerator analogy, how much stuff do we throw out of the refrigerator? It's amazing. It's amazing. So,
Rusty, was that your analogy using the oil change on the car? Everyone says it's not working. I don't feel anything, but you change the oil in a car, you can't tell the difference there, but you won't do it for yourself.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
All right, guys, we've been on here for a while. I mean, just love so much talking about what we're doing, but we got to get to work too. I don't want to keep Rick, any longer because he's got phone calls to make. He's too close.
I got to talk to this person out in Colorado. She's fired up.
All right.
All right, neat.
Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, and go to work and let's make this happen.
See you,
Have fun
Brian.
at the Pro 5 Summit, Brian. Congratulations. Have fun at the summit.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Thank
I'm
you.
Please take lots of
Bye,
pictures.
Sarah.
Yeah.
My wife will make sure I take pictures.
Okay, good.
All right. Thanks.